Let me ask you something, and I want you to answer it honestly. When money starts building in your life, when things are actually going well financially, what is the first feeling that is showing up? Not the feeling that you think you should have, the actual first feeling. For a lot of people who are smart, capable, and hardworking, it is not a pure excitement. It is something quieter. Maybe it's a feeling of fear or anxiety, a feeling of almost waiting for the other shoe to drop. If any version of what I just said is true for you, you're going to want to hear what I'm about to share. Because that feeling is not a personality flaw. It is a signal from a very specific layer of your financial life that nobody is talking about. And it is the layer that has been quietly setting your wealth ceiling this entire time. I'm Diana, and this is Dollars with Diana. I am back with the most important conversation I have ever shared on this channel. Here is what this channel is going to do for you. I'm going to help you find the invisible ceiling in your financial life, the specific internal threshold that keeps correcting your results back to the familiar territory, no matter how solid your strategy is. And I'm going to help you rebuild it from the inside out. Whether you're a business owner who cannot figure out why revenue plateaus at the same number year after year, or an investor or trader who executes sound decisions and still finds the results confounding, or a professional who earns well and somehow never has enough, or someone who just knows in their gut that what they have been producing does not match what they are actually capable of. This channel exists for you. We are going to go deep, not motivational poster deep, but forensic deep. We are going to look at the real mechanics, where your financial patterns come from and why they are extraordinarily good at doing their jobs, and how to update the program that they are running. I will bring you real frameworks from my doctoral research in transformational leadership and coaching, real patterns from my work with private clients, including case studies of the specific breakthroughs happening in my real coaching sessions, a real perspective from inside the market as an active trader, and a real lens from the real estate transactions that I see as a licensed realtor. This is not one person's opinion. It is a convergence of every professional lens I work through, all pointing at the same thing. The strategy is almost never the problem. The identity running the strategy is. And let me give you the concept that changes everything, because I want you to have it before I tell you anything about myself. You have a wealth identity, not a wealth goal, not a wealth strategy, a wealth identity, a self-concept held mostly below the surface, formed mostly before you had any say in it, about what kind of financial life is realistic and safe and appropriate for someone like you. And here is the mechanism that changes everything. Your financial behavior does not follow your intentions. It follows your identity. Every time, without exception. You can have the clearest financial goals in the world. You can have the right strategy, the right advisor, the right tools, and if your identity, the operating self-concept you carry about who you are in relation to wealth, is running a different program underneath all of that, the strategy will keep hitting the same wall. Business owners, I need you to hear this especially. The revenue ceiling you keep running into is almost never a marketing problem, or a pricing problem, or a sales problem. It is an identity problem. There is a number that feels like enough for someone like me running in the background of every decision that you make. And until that number updates, no strategy, no adjustment will ever hold. Investors and traders, it's the same principle in just a different costume. The point at which you take profits too early, size down right before a big move, or find a way to give back gains you just worked for. That is not a technical failure. That is a wealth identity enforcing its ceiling. Now, this is where it gets interesting. That ceiling was not built by your adult self. It was not a rational decision you ever made after careful reflection. It was built by a younger version of you, absorbing the emotional atmosphere of the environment that you grew up in. Think about it. Not the financial facts of your childhood, the emotional atmosphere. What was the feeling in the house when money was tight? What was the thing that everyone understood but nobody said directly? Your nervous system absorbed all of that before you had a single financial decision to make. And it built a set of rules. Rules about what was safe to want, what was realistic to expect, what level of wealth was appropriate for someone with your particular story. And here's what those rules look like in your adult financial life. A person who hits their highest ROI and finds a way back to their average amount year after year, despite executing a genuinely solid strategy. Or a trader who builds an account to a specific threshold and then gives a significant portion back before the next build. Or a person who earns more than their parents ever did and lives with a persistent, quiet sense that it could disappear at any moment. These are not random outcomes. These are self-concepts doing exactly what they were built to do. The question is not, how do I get more disciplined? The question is, what does my wealth identity currently believe I deserve? And what would I need to change at the root level to stop correcting back to it? That is the question that this channel is dedicated to. I'm going to give you a specific way to begin answering it right now. Ask yourself this: when money starts building in your life, when things are actually going well financially, what is the first feeling that shows up underneath the momentum? Sit with whatever came up, because that feeling is a signal. It is your wealth identity communicating its current operating instructions. Anxiety means that the identity believes this level is precarious. Guilt means it believes that this level is more than you deserve. Restlessness means it believes that this level is not safe to settle into. And none of those beliefs are true. They are old, they are borrowed, and they can be updated. This is the work. And let me tell you how I know it works. I know it works because last year I had to use it on myself. I had a rough ride in the stock market, losses as large as 22K, enough to make me sit down and do what I always do when results do not match my competence. Go back to the strategy. I tightened my risk management. I adjusted my entries, studied the setups that I had missed, and did everything a disciplined trader is supposed to do. And I kept hitting the same wall. And then I was sitting with my doctoral coursework one afternoon. I'm a doctoral student in transformational leadership and coaching at NYU. And I came across a line in my research. You cannot consistently outperform the self-concept you are operating from. I had read similar ideas before, but this time I read it and I immediately thought about my trading account. And I thought about the specific threshold where my results kept correcting. And I realized something that was genuinely uncomfortable to admit. I was not failing at my strategy. I was succeeding at my identity because there was a ceiling I had unconsciously installed, not through any deliberate decision, but through years of absorbing a set of beliefs about what level of financial reality was appropriate for someone with my specific and particular history. and I had been executing that ceiling with remarkable consistency. So I did the thing that I had been teaching my clients to do. I went to the root. I sat with the questions that I use in my coaching sessions on myself. I excavated the atmosphere that I grew up in around money, and I looked at the specific beliefs that I had absorbed before I had the language to question them. And I found the ceiling, not as an abstract concept, as a specific located belief that I could trace to a specific era of my life, that I could understand in terms of where it came from, and that I could, for the first time, with real clarity, choose to no longer operate from. I'm not going to tell you that everything is perfect now. That is not this kind of channel. What I will tell you is that something shifted, not in the stock or crypto market, but in me. And the results followed, not because I got lucky or the conditions changed, but because the person making the decisions had genuinely changed. And here is the part that I want you to really hear. I'm going to do this work right now in real time alongside my doctoral research, my private coaching clients, my real estate career, and my trading. Every single layer of my professional life has become a laboratory for the understanding why financially capable people like you and me, keep running into the same invisible wall. I am not bringing you theory. I am bringing you the work from the inside. Let me give you the practical piece now, because everything that I just shared is only useful if you have a way to actually work with it. The wealth identity has 4 layers. Every ceiling, every plateau, every pattern that keeps producing the same result against your intentions. It can be traced back through these 4 layers. Layer 1, the atmosphere. The emotional environment around money in the place that you grew up. Not the financial facts, the feeling. Layer 2, the inherited belief. The specific conclusion your nervous system drew from that atmosphere. Usually a sentence that starts with, people like me, or money always, or wanting more money means. Layer 3, the pattern, the specific repeating financial behavior that inherited belief produces in your adult life. The spending that happens right after the income builds. The deals that fall through at a particular threshold. The resistance to charging what your work is actually worth. And layer 4, the identity gap. The distance between the financial capability that you know you have and the self-concept that you actually are operating from. This is the most expensive gap in the financial life, and it does not close through working harder. It closes through specific inner work. Each week on this channel, I'm going to take you into one of these 4 layers. Some weeks it will be a framework. Some weeks it will be a live exercise that you can apply the same day. In some weeks, I will share case studies from my private coaching practice, real patterns, real breakthroughs, real before and after stories from the actual coaching session. Because the most powerful thing that I can show you is not a concept, it is evidence. The evidence that this work produces real, measurable change in real lives. You are going to see case studies that look similar to your revenue ceiling. You're going to see identity gaps that look exactly like the gap you feel between what you earn and what you hold. Investors, you are going to see the pattern maps that look like your trading journal. That is what is coming. That is what you are subscribing to. I want to be clear about what I'm building here. This is not a channel where I pretend that I have all the answers. This is a channel where we work towards them together with rigor, with honesty, and with the understanding that the wealth that you are capable of building is entirely within your reach. What needs to update is identity running the show. I'm a doctoral candidate, an ICF coaching candidate, an active trader, a licensed realtor, and a wealth coach. And every single one of those roles informs what I bring to this channel. But I am also a person who had to sit down and be honest about my own ceiling. I am in this work too. It is not a disclaimer. This is a promise that what I share is real. The person I am building this for is the one who has done the outer work and knows something is missing. The business owner whose revenue growth feels like strangely capped. The investor who executes well and still can't explain certain results. The professional who earns more than they have ever imagined and still feels like it could disappear. The person who is quietly, persistently excellent and quietly, persistently stuck at a threshold that they cannot fully explain. If that is you, then you are exactly in the right place. You are not behind. You are exactly at the moment where the most important work becomes available to you. If this conversation resonated, here's how to go further. The first thing in the description is the Wealth Identity Intensive. 7 powerful sessions, each going deep into a specific layer of your wealth identity. It is the most concentrated, immediately actionable version of this work, recorded, available now, and built to produce a genuine shift in each session. You can go to the link in the description to learn more. If you are ready for a deeper private work, then the full one-on-one container where we go all the way through your specific story, your specific ceiling, and your specific pattern over 7 weeks with me directly, then the 7-week Wealth Identity Coaching Program is that. I work with a very small number of clients at a time, and this is not a sales tactic. This is the reality of doing things properly. Every client gets my genuine, full attention across the entire arc, and that requires limitation. To be considered for the program, you can apply through the link down in the description. I review every application personally, and not everyone is accepted. Not because the work is inaccessible, but because I need to confirm that it is a right fit at the right time. If it is, I will be in touch within 48 hours. And if you are not ready for either of those things yet, that is completely fine. Subscribe, stay, and let the weekly conversation do what they were designed to do. Give you enough to work with that readiness builds naturally. The inner work does not need to be rushed, but it needs to be honest. Before I let you go, I want you to stay with that question. When money starts building, when things are actually going well financially, what is the first feeling that shows up underneath the momentum? Whatever your answer was, that is your starting point. Not a problem, not a flaw, a map. And a map is the most useful thing that you can have at the beginning of any journey. I am Diana. This is Dollars with Diana, and I'm so glad that you are here. I will see you in the next one. Bye.